I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 117. Just a reminder before we start that you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, YouTube, and Vero at Rated G for Gamers. You can always email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com. We appreciate all the love and comments. I'm your host, Dave Rotino. This is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man?
I got the best pickup ever this week. I want to jump right into it. I want to jump right into the pickup.
You got Bucky O here too?
I want to jump right into the pickup.
You got Bucky O here for NES just like I did?
Better than Bucky. Better than Bucky.
Barbie's Playhouse, NES in box, complete.
Better. I got Britney's Dance Beat for PS2. I know you're jealous.
You know what? That is one game that I do not have in my collection. Very sought after by all the Britney fans.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you have that one over me.
Come on, man. That's a hidden gem. That is a PS2 hidden gem right there.
You know what?
Happy.
How about this?
Not
how about
ashamed.
we film you playing the game and post it on Instagram?
Oh boy, maybe. Have to dust off the PS2 and the composite cables, make that happen.
You know what? I'll get you a fake snake to put around your neck so you can.
I can do the MTV. I can do the MTV Music Awards performance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about all that.
Why not? Come on.
I don't know about all that.
Come on, that'd be awesome. I would love to see you do it. I think everybody would love to see you do it. Reenactment. We're gonna reenact all the major moments at MTV Awards. Done by
we ain't going that far. We ain't going that far.
Done by Dave Rotino. No.
Mm-mm. Only if I will do that. Only if you can be my Madonna.
No. What? No, I'm Jay-Z maybe.
I'm sorry, Britney and Madonna. Come on, man.
No, I'm good.
Come on, you gotta get after
Jay-Z. I'm Jay-Z with Alicia Keys. I want to have the Yankee hat on. I'll just be dressed normal.
Oh god,
I can reenact my Jay-Z impression.
So okay, I know. I kind of hijacked the start of the show.
You did because I didn't know you were going there
with my Britney's Dance Beat. So all right, I think we should get into it. We definitely have a lot to talk about. I want to know what you picked up this week, and then I want to know what you've been playing, and then I know you got some stuff to talk about. You've got some rants.
So I actually had some pretty good pickups this week.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard of Doom Vice Project.
Vice Project Doom is solid, man.
For NES. What is
Nintendo
that
release?
Game? That game is expensive, but I got it for free with my Lukey points. Shout out to Lukey Games. Thank you.
Oh, there you go. Lukey's the best, baby. This is not a sponsorship. We just love Lukey. For all your retro needs.
It could be a sponsorship one day.
we would love to sponsor them. We do love Lukey. They are the best.
I love my Lukey. I'll tell you that. I never thought I would say that, but I did. I love my Lukey. What is that game? It's expensive. I thought it was pretty, something I never heard of before. I wanted to check it out. Straight up
classic platformer from the Nintendo era. Just solid. Like the game is actually really good. So it's not just one of those games that's like kind of rare and just like sucks. It's not like oh geez, I can't really think. But I mean, like the game is good. The game is good. It's solid. Sound is good. Graphics are great. The story is, Nintendo style. It's bonkers or whatever it is. But, the game is good. I would say I would highly recommend playing that game. It's pretty solid.
I picked up Conker's Pocket Tales. That was the first Conker game, believe it or not.
Right. When Conker was still cute and all that, and before he became the Conker that we all know.
Before he became the drunken squirrel or fox, or whatever the hell he is.
I think he's a chipmunk, maybe.
A rodent. How about that? We just keep it at that.
He is most likely a rodent.
Perverted rodent.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft, bring that back. We need a perverted rodent, baby.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we need now. I actually went to GameStop today and picked up Ridge Racer for the Vita, Rayman Origins, and Rayman Legends. Now, I always
going Rayman heavy here.
Every GameStop I go to, I always check the Vita section just to see like what 2 games they have, and it's always like Japanese RPGs that are like $30, $40, right? That I never buy because it's so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked to even see something other than RPGs, like Ridge Racer and Rayman Legends and Origins, and for good prices too. I got to say, I found it for good prices, so I had to pick it up. I couldn't ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
Bolster my Vita collection, baby.
There you go.
And if you're
the only man keeping that system alive. You're the only man
happened?
keeping that system alive.
I'm probably one of 2 people still on Vita Island, baby. I tell you, I love my Vita.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Boom Knight still on Vita Island. That's it.
There you go. You're a 2-man team holding it up.
It's a sinking ship. It's a sinking island.
Yeah, it is.
If you follow us on Instagram, I went a little Donkey Kong crazy recently.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I went an inch too far with my Donkey Kong games.
I would not say that. No, Donkey Kong is awesome, man. It's a solid franchise.
So I picked up Donkey Kong Country 3 for the NES.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up Donkey Kong Country 2 for the Game Boy Advance, Donkey Kong Country 1 for the Game Boy Advance, Donkey Kong Country 1 for the Game Boy Color. And I also picked up the classic NES series, Donkey Kong, for the Game Boy Advance. Mm-hmm. So I went a little Donkey Kong crazy. And, because I got Donkey Kong Country Freeze, the Tropical Freeze for the Switch. So I picked up every other Donkey Kong Country game that I was missing in my collection. You know how I like to complete things. I want to have all the games in the series. Rest in peace. I stopped at Toys R Us to see if they had anything. And I got to say, if you go to Toys R Us, every Toys R Us has their own sale. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Not every Toys R Us, has the same sale, because the one in Manhattan, we're in New York, full disclosure. The one in Manhattan, sort of the games are like 25% off, and they sort of had a lot of commons. The one where I live in Long Island, 40% off games. 40%. I was like, oh my 40% god.
40% is pretty solid, man. That's almost half off.
And is all picked over.
Mm-hmm.
Even the Barbie games are gone. Listen, they had so many special edition Ghosts, Call of Duty Ghosts.
Oh my god.
They literally had like a row of special editions.
Yeah, that's like Call of Duty from like 2. That's like 2 Call of Duties back. Like, who doesn't have Ghosts? I mean,
no, that's like 3 or 4. Right?
Oh Jesus, like 14, yeah, 13, get out of here. Oh, that was like launch year. Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah,
get out of here.
They still have the collector's edition.
Mm-hmm.
A whole bunch of collector's editions just like in a row. I picked up an extra Switch dock. Switch docks are just crazy expensive. They're like $80, like $90, $89.99.
Right.
I picked it for a fairly good price. Wasn't 40% off, which I was kind of mad at, but still, I didn't pay $90 for it.
I'm actually kind of curious why you got the second dock.
All right, so I'm a big multitasker. Okay, so if I'm playing a game, I sort of have like a podcast in the background. I wanted to watch the NBA playoffs on my big screen, right? And I wanted to continue playing Tropical Freeze. Now I know what you're saying. You usually play.
I almost exclusively play in portable mode.
Well, I do it opposite. 80% of my Switch gameplay is using it as a home console because I love using the Pro controller. Okay, so I needed an extra dock so I can put it on my computer monitor so I can have TV, the playoffs on the big screen, and I can continue playing, whatever I'm playing on the Switch. I have a big computer monitor. I have a 32-inch computer monitor, so I want. I play it portable rarely. I rarely play it portable. I gotta say, I just 85, maybe 85%, 85 to 90%. I play it docked. So, which is why my Switch is slightly warped. And Nintendo, you got to fix that.
Well, see, I'm the exact opposite. Like, I got it, and I played a little bit of Zelda on it, like docked, and I was like, wow, this is awesome on the big screen and this and that. And then I like started playing it more portably, and I'm like, well, now I can watch TV and be on the Switch at the same time. I can take it around the house. It's just so convenient.
I don't know. I mean, listen, I play
take it on the subway everywhere. Like
I play it in handheld mode every now and then, but I get distracted when I'm on the subway. Like I want to, I want to sleep or just want to listen to music. I don't want to play games. Not to mention, I don't want people leaning over watching me. Like I don't, like this is not a spectator sport for me.
What are they going to see? They're going to see you beating Mario? Like, come on, who cares?
I don't listen, man. Listen, I'm a private gamer. I'm sorry. This is why I don't play online. I play by myself.
I see. I'm getting so much insight into your gaming
playing habits.
Uh-huh.
This is why I play by myself. I'm good when I'm playing by myself. Just like sort of like games like Zelda and Mario. I don't want people watching me. I'm sorry. I'm shy. I don't want people watching me. I'm shy. I'm sorry.
I get that.
And lastly, I picked up Super Mario Kart for the SNES. Now, I know what you're saying. Dan, you have a big collection. You didn't have the original Super Mario Kart for the NES? And I'm going to say, guess what, Dave? I have Super Mario Kart for the Super Famicom in box. But I wanted to get the American version. Not the American version.
Yeah. Same game, more or less. It's not much different. But now you can read all of the language and menu options. Sure,
Now I can read everything. I have a rant. I'm sorry. Since we're talking about pickups, I have a rant. I have a pickup that I was so excited to say on the show that never came. That I never got. And you know why I never got it? Because someone at the post office stole it. Yes, I said it. Someone at the post office stole it.
Oh, boy.
I picked up on eBay.
So I half know the story. I'm curious for all the details.
So I picked up on eBay 50 old school PlayStation magazines for a really good price. Yeah. Okay. I love old school gaming magazines. I don't have a huge collection of them. I would say altogether roughly 100, maybe a little bit over. Not even maybe less than 100. Video game magazines from Nintendo Power to EGM, the Sega magazine that came out, and Game Informer, which I still subscribe to Game Informer magazine. Or I have the physical come into my house every month, which is free because I just use my GameStop points every year, renew it.
Right.
I picked up 50 PlayStation magazines. And I got an empty box delivered to my house, and it had sort of like a slit on the corner of it.
That's awful.
So, because I get a lot of packages, my mail lady knows me, and she knows if no one's home when she rings the bell to put the package in the backyard, right? She saw that the package was pretty much empty and the box was empty, so she delivered it, and in her system she put delivered damage, and I saw her drop it off, so it wasn't like it was waiting for me. Like I literally was walking to my house when I saw the mail lady. So I immediately called eBay and contacted the seller, and it says I have eBay insurance. I'm sure things take a while to happen. I've taken pictures. You can't make a claim with the post office, which makes no sense because they said they don't have insurance. It's not covered under their insurance unless it was priority mail. So it was regular mail, and I always
you have to pay extra for you basically have to pay for the insurance.
Yes,
if you want that, right? I mean, your situation sucks. I am 100% with you, but that's why they have that extra service. It's like if it's something that's super important, you may want to do the priority style, and then that kind of gets you coverage up to a certain amount, I think.
I know, but I mean, you guys stole it. It was you. The seller swears he sent it was something in the box, right? So between him dropping it off the post office and my post office delivering it to me, someone took all the contents of the box, and I'm pissed. Okay. Hopefully we get the situation resolved. This happened a few days ago.
Right.
And if it doesn't, I'm definitely going to call it out on the show. But so far, eBay has been super helpful, super nice. They said would meet the seller and buyer covered under eBay insurance. I have no idea what that means because I've never had to deal with this before. So, pro tip: if you're a collector and you collect a lot of things you buy off of eBay, as soon as you see there's a problem, contact the seller immediately, because one of the first things that eBay said to me was, "Oh wow, we see 15 minutes after the package says delivered, you sent the seller a message." Like, that's a good, like, they're telling me, hey, that was like a good move, right? Because they can see like you were immediately responded. And I was like, you damn right I did. You know why? Because I'm missing 50 magazines. I spent a lot of money. I spent good money for this.
Yeah,
so
of course.
Hopefully we get this resolved.
Yeah, well, look, here's hoping it all works out. You need to let me and everybody else know what ends up going down with this. You know. So.
Well, speaking about Game Informer,
mm-hmm.
Game Informer had exclusive gameplay of Days Gone. Did you see that? I think that's going to be. I think Days Gone is going to be on the cover this month or next month.
Yeah, it looks pretty solid. It feels like Fallout with zombies. You know, you're kind of scavenging
zombie
around
hordes.
for supplies
Zombies in Fallout.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it looks like super cool. You know, I'm in.
It is definitely an RPG. It is definitely one of those like zombie RPGs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you have missions where you have to leave base and you go, sort of handle a mission. There are traps set outside home base by like what they call, I guess, just like rival gangs, right? Like they have like sort of like people are set up traps where they have cars blocking the road because you're on this motorcycle, which you have to look for gas, so you can't use the motorcycle, and the motorcycle is your only transportation around the world,
right?
Which sort of looks awesome. The freakers, I think they call them freakers, which are like their version of zombies. They can be in hordes, and you definitely have to avoid them. And you can use them as sort of a tool against like rival gangs and stuff. So. And then you got to be careful too, because like was one mission, and they play like the first hour of the game. They had like this one mission where he had to restore power to a trailer because he needed to get something in a trailer, and it was sort of like locked. He forgot once he restored power to the trailer that the loudspeakers would come on. He forgot to disable them before he put the power on. So
no, and then it brings all the freakers by.
It brings all the freakers by. So now he has to strategize of what is he going to do, because they can, this is one of those worlds. It's like, what was that? Dawn of the Dead, where hey, you become a zombie, you become a triathlon, right? Like they know they can run fast.
Oh yeah, fast zombies. Fast zombies. That's a thing, It all depends on which parts of the zombie lore you want to pick up on. There are certainly good movies in video games that have fast zombies. It's a thing. I would say in that case, like if you're in that situation, you hop on top of the trailer, you break out your weapon, and you just start taking out enemies. Clear a path, and then get the hell out of there, because you're not going to be able to take out all of them, right? The freakers, there seems to be a lot, and when you set off like alarm traps and sound cues and whatever else, they come running. So I don't think ammo is going to be that plentiful. You may have some melee weapons, but
and the melee weapons break. They're like Breath of the Wild. They break because he had a bat. He had like Lucille from The Walking Dead, a bat with the barbed wire around it.
Classic.
It broke in the middle of him like fighting the freaker, and he had to pick up a pipe. So this is think of Zelda in a survival RPG zombie game where your weapons break. You really have to go. You really have to do stealth. You got to go stealth around everywhere. And you know how much I love stealth games.
Yeah. No, I think that's a pretty good way to put it. I don't know. I think you should give this game a chance. It looks awesome. The graphics look great. You can do a lot of cool stuff in there. So, if it pans out the way all these like videos are, then it could be great.
Also, just as a follow-up of a story we did, I don't know if we did last week or 2 weeks ago, where the government pretty much said these labels on these consoles that said, if you sort of tamper with it, that voids your warranty. And they said,
little
no,
warranty labels, yeah,
that's illegal. Like, no, that's actually not true. It doesn't void your warranty. It looks like so far Sony and Nintendo are removing these warranty labels.
That's great.
From their consoles going forward.
Great. That's great. So you can now, basically what that means is you can take that to any like third party repair center or whatever. They can work on it, whatever, do stuff to it. Does not void the manufacturer warranty. So that's awesome. Like if you want to pay $50 as opposed to $200 to fix your system, why not? You go to some place, it's got reputable reviews and whatever else. Why not save some money? So
good news,
also,
that's as a follow-up story from a story that we've covered. Loot boxes. We think we talked about this. A lot of like countries and states are trying to make loot boxes illegal in video games.
They banned them in Belgium. There's a $800,000 fine for anyone who has loot boxes in their games in that country.
Or I think it was like up to 5 years in prison, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that, but I know there was some prison time.
Get jail time for a gameplay feature.
I know, that's crazy. EA
heavy
is fighting against this. They're pushing back, and they're including loot boxes in FIFA 19.
Of course.
And to them, loot boxes is not gambling, and they're going to fight this in court if it comes to it.
Well, I mean, say what you want about loot boxes, whether you like them, you hate them, whatever, this and that. Like, loot boxes that are done right and fairly, I think are fine, right? Especially if they don't affect the game whatsoever, right? The problem with a game like FIFA or Madden or whatever is that certain modes, rely on you opening card packs to build your teams, right? You build like the ultimate team, and you can have all these guys on there. And, if you want someone like Messi or like Ronaldo or, some of these like heavy hitters, they're very hard to get, right? And you have to either grind it out and get a little bit of coins, and then you get a free pack, or you can pay money, and you can get the loot box, and, that'll just have a bunch of cards in there for you. And you have a slim chance of getting like gold star players, guys that are like 85 and up, and those are the ones you want to compete, right? So you kind of need to pay money to even exist in this mode. Now, like you can like argue like you don't need to play the ultimate mode, right? You can just do head-to-head online, like I do with my brother. We just do head-to-head online, It's simple. We pick the teams, we have the roster, and we just go at it. We don't do the ultimate team or anything like that. But there are a lot of people that do play it, and it gives an unfair advantage to people with large wallets. So that's like kind of where I'm at. Like I'm like, I'm not really a big fan of this. And like coming off of Star Wars Battlefront, where they like totally botched it, and it was a massive grind to get anywhere with that stuff, and you had such low chances of everything that, EA said, okay, we're going to get rid of the loot boxes because everyone hates it, and we have such bad PR right now. And now the next game, FIFA's coming out again, and they're like, now we're going to go hard on the loot boxes. So, I feel like they haven't learned their lesson,
Well,
so
we'll see. We'll see how it goes. They're going to fight this to the end because loot boxes are very profitable.
Well,
right?
yeah, I mean, so, they bake it into their projections.
First of all, let's just clarify. Belgium has banned loot boxes officially, right? Like, not every state, every country, every region has banned it. So they can theoretically have loot boxes in the North American release.
Oh, sure. They're within their legal rights to do that. Morally, it can still be kind of shitty depending on how you do it and what's offered in the loot boxes, but that's a whole nother situation,
Yeah. But in a lighter note, I don't know if it's really lighter or not, but did you see Overkill, the new trailer for Overkill's The Walking Dead?
That
looks awesome.
Yeah, it does look badass. I mean, you know me, I'm not crazy about the Telltale games, and I know you're like you're kind of gonzo over those, and you love the Walking Dead games. Not for the material or the whatever else. I think just like the way the gameplay rolls out, not really my jam. This looks amazing. If this is in-game graphics, like I'm on board. I mean, this is so far from a TT game. Right.
I mean, I don't know if this is sort of like a survival horror game in the Walking Dead universe, right? But just the graphics and just how they've portrayed like all the different trailers, sort of like the second trailer sort of had like a woman in the ER, and it's sort of like the beginning of like the apocalypse, right? Because they had a patient rushed in and that they're trying to help, and then all of a sudden he turns into a zombie and starts biting all the doctors, and then the doctors sort of barricade themselves in the ER because everyone's turned to zombies. Like that trailer was awesome too. I am super looking forward to actual, seeing what you do in this world. The trailers look awesome, but now it's time for me to see the 3 trailers they've put out in the last like year look awesome, but it's now time.
They don't really show any gameplay, so it's kind of hard to gauge what type of game it's going to be, right?
Yeah, I mean, because if it's just zombies, I got Days Gone.
Right, exactly.
I'm a motorcycle. I'm a biker in Portland Desert, right? So I want to know what's the gameplay. But by all accounts, it looks like it's taking place in Washington D.C. So that's a good setting for this game,
right?
Dave, as we always try to start the show and epically fail.
Oh, I think we've done the worst this. I think the worst this week. We're 25 minutes in, and we've just got to what have we been playing?
What have you?
We're going to get into
Dave?
it. We're going to get into it because we know people love this segment, and we love this segment. And I love this segment this week because I'm still playing God of War, the best game of the year so far for me.
Wow, spoilers, man! We can't even have a half of the game of the year. You've already spoiled it for everyone.
I don't know. That may change. We still have another month to go. So we'll see.
Detroit Become Human still not out yet.
Well, I'm on the fence about buying that game.
Really?
I guess maybe, yeah. I guess because we did talk about it, I think last week, the big scandal that came out of the studio, and how there was a lot of allegations about workplace misconduct from the higher ups and whatnot, and just kind of a toxic work environment.
Which Dave denied.
Well, of course they're going to deny it. I mean,
Well, listen. I mean, you say of course, but it is all accusations. We don't know if it's actual fact.
Well, there's a million Photoshop files that are out there on the internet that you can see that was from somebody who worked at the company that said this came around internally. I mean,
they're going to court. They are suing, right? So
sure. We'll see what happens.
It is going to court, but because I work in a legal field, I don't get caught up in the court of public opinion. I get caught up in real court. So you are innocent in this country until proven guilty. And they're taking this to court in Europe, obviously, but in my eyes, you are innocent until proven guilty. They've vehemently denied allegations. So we will see what happens in court.
You're not wrong. I'm going to wait until the court proceedings. I think I'm going to wait until the court proceedings come down, because if this stuff is true, I really don't want to support that studio anymore. And that's just me. I'm just talking about myself. I'm not speaking for anybody else. If anybody else wants to go and buy that game and whatever, by all means, it looks like a fantastic game. I'm really excited, but I'm a little torn right now. I'm just being honest, but that's a little side tangent.
I see. I wasn't expecting that. I believe
I'm a passionate man, Dad. I'm a passionate man.
I see. I believe people are innocent until proven guilty. I would like if there were allegations about us that people would have that same sort of thought process, right? I'm buying a game. I already pre-ordered it, so I'm buying a game. I was hyped when we played it at PAX. And there's a demo out right now. The same demo that we played at PAX is out right now. The download on PS4. So I am all for that yet. But games that we're playing right now, I finished God of War. I gotta say,
congrats. How's the ending? I heard it was a little divisive among some people.
I don't know where you heard that from. Everyone I saw. I actually went back and looked at all the spoiler cast from like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Everyone seemed to love that ending.
Interesting.
And again, you don't even get the teaser because
Well, don't spoil anything.
I'm not. Listen, no spoilers. I mean, after you beat the game, you can continue to go in the world. To do whatever you want.
Okay. So you get some post game stuff, sure.
But the real quote unquote ending doesn't happen until you go back home. So
I see.
So when you go back home, travel back home, which I did right away. Like I was like, I'm going back home right away.
Right.
This is before I knew anything. I was like, it has to be something when you go back home. There is something, and then you can go explore the world, which I'm probably not going to do. I'm pretty much done. Once I beat a game, I usually don't go back.
Right. Too much.
I did actually go back and play a little bit. I will say this. Wait. Let me just rewind.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I did go back and play some of God of War, even though I already beat it. I'm kind of mad at myself because there were treasures that I were missing that would increase my health.
Yep.
I was like, oh my god! And yes, I just banged my desk because I was so mad. I was like, my health is so long right now. Why didn't I find this before I beat the game when I could have used it?
Yeah. I
was so mad. But the game is fantastic. Love the game, and I gotta say, it's my game of the year so far. I don't know. It's gonna be hard to beat this. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, it's strong, man. It's strong. I mean, even though I'm not done with it, it's still, it's great so far.
I also been playing a lot of Switch games. So I downloaded the demo for Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle trial version. Played a little bit of that. You know how I like my fighting games, and I like Blaze Blue. I have Blaze Blue. I think I have Blaze Blue for the Vita. No, PS4. Matter of fact, I think I have for both. And beat the arcade mode. Yeah, it's more of Blaze Blue. Don't know if I really like that type of style fighting game. More of a Street Fighter guy myself. Been playing heavily. I've been diving deep into Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. It sort of was my second game. Like play God of War, play Donkey Kong. It was sort of what I was doing all week. And I like to play docked with my Pro Controller. That game is hard, even with Funky Kong. I gotta say, that game is so hard, even with Funky Kong. That's why I needed the extra dock, so I can watch the NBA playoffs, still dock it, and use my Pro Controller, because you need to be precise with your platforming. I gotta tell you,
man's got priorities.
And I've been playing Lightfall, one of our like top games of E3
from the Penny Arcade or Penny Arcade Expo.
Yeah, I gotta say Lightfall is fantastic. I am now stuck at a level I don't know how to get out of. That's a fantastic game. Can't wait for physical release, maybe, possibly, please.
I mean it's doing really well. I think it's selling pretty good. So
well, we asked the developer at PAX if there were any plans for a physical release, and he said let's see how the launch goes first. So I would so buy this on limited run, please. You know what? You heard it here first. I'm calling it. Limited Run is going to do a physical release of this game 6 months from now.
Here's hoping.
No, listen. They're gonna do a limited run release. I can guarantee that now.
All right.
I'm sorry. They have to.
By all means, they should. Yeah, it is.
Listen,
fantastic.
Limited Run did Aqua Kitty DX. They can do Lightfall. I'm sorry, they can do Lightfall.
It's more than just a wanting to put a game out. They have to get the rights and coordinate things and sign contracts and all that.
I know. I'm just.
There's a lot that goes into this, man.
I'm just saying. You heard it here first. I called it. Within the next year, I'll give it a year. Lightfall will get a physical release for the Switch, which I will pre-order because they've been doing pre-orders for all their Switch games. So let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll get into the top 10 gaming news of last week.
And in our convo of the week, we go over our top 3 Donkey Kong games.
And we're back. All right, let's get into the top 10 gaming news of last week. So, Microsoft. We all love Xbox. Big Xbox guys, right? Xbox. I have the Xbox One X, baby.
Hell yeah, we both do. Well, I mean, you got it because I got it. You're like, I can't let this man floss on his own. I have to get it as well.
Listen, I got it because it's black. You know, I love everything. Oh, and all my systems are black. And I had the Xbox One S. Okay, I had the white Xbox, which I liked. It clashed with everything, Xbox, but I like. But there's only one thing missing from my Xbox, right? I love my Xbox One X. I just need my first party games. Where are they? Because Sea of Thieves. Listen, man,
not so strong. Not so strong. Sadly, because Rare. I love Rare. I love Rare, but you know.
I played it. There's nothing really to do. It's boring if you play by yourself.
It's very sparse. You were literally out in the middle of the ocean, and there's nobody.
It is not God of War. I tell you that. It is not God of War. But
no, definitely not God of War.
Trying to change that. There's a listing posted online. Microsoft is hiring someone to focus on first-party AAA exclusives.
This is good. This should have happened like 2-3 years ago. They should have really like honed in and said, "Hey, look, we have all these great games coming out for the Xbox One." Because obviously, we all agree, we all know that the PS4 is killing it this year. You know, with the exclusives and whatnot, where they lost a lot of exclusives in like the PS3 era, right? They lost Tekken, they lost Metal Gear, they lost Devil May Cry, all these things.
Those weren't exclusives; those were sort of like marketing, like the marketing deals where you. Well,
sure, like they were only on that system, though. You know.
Yeah, well, right now you think every game is coming out for PS4 because of the marketing, right? Because they have PlayStation next to it during the marketing, but Destiny can be played on Xbox, right? So, but you think that's a PlayStation game, right? And we saw how Tomb Raider fiasco went,
right?
Where it was exclusive. They got killed by Fallout, and then it actually came out on PlayStation and did better. I think it did better on PlayStation when it came out a year later, which that was a whole fiasco. But they have no big AAA games coming out for the PlayStation. I mean, for Xbox that everyone's clamoring for. Right? I mean, where are my AAA exclusives? Where's my God of War? Like, I posted on Instagram what I thought were the 3 defining games for each system this generation. And like I say, for Switch, it was easy. I picked, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, and Splatoon 2. It was equally as easy for PS4, God of War, Uncharted 4, and Horizon Zero Dawn. It was hard to pick for Xbox. I mean, Halo 5, Gears of War 4, that third game was hard. I was thinking Quantum Break, it's not a first-party game. It's not, it's exclusive, didn't do so well. I had to pick Sea of Thieves. It did well. It is a first-party game. And that sort of defines this generation for Microsoft, right? Like it's a game that sold well. It's a multiplayer game because that's the focus. They're focused on sort of like games of the service, multiplayer games, bare bones, not a lot in there. Where's the single player, right? Like, I mean, they canceled a bunch of games this generation. Scalebound, they canceled. That looked cool. And they also canceled that Fable game that was supposed to come out.
Yeah, which everyone was up in arms over Scalebound, like that was supposed to be an awesome single player exclusive experience, from a studio that Microsoft brought in-house, and then they said, no, we're not going to do that game. That was like, I still don't know why.
Well, this job listing definitely has to be something focusing on the next generation, because games take, 2-3 years to make, right? So we're looking at, if you hire someone this year, they're looking to have an impact on, Microsoft as far as games like in the year 2020, 2021, right?
Yeah, games are going to be like a good year or two out at least, unless they have games that are already in the hopper and they want more people to come on their team. But even still, there's ramp up time and whatnot. You got to get them acclimated to the systems and how everything works. It's going to be a while before these games come out.
Yeah. Also, Nintendo's posting a job listing, and it looks like it's a job listing for someone to work on the next Zelda game, right? Now, I think we talked about this a few months ago, where they there were reports that they want to use the same engine that they used for the Breath of the Wild for the next Zelda game.
Mm-hmm.
So this could be sort of the Majora's Mask of this generation, right? So it's Breath of the Wild using the same engine, open world, but maybe the story is more focused, more less on open worldness, and then maybe more focused on one type of story, right?
Mm-hmm.
More honed in on this is the story element of the game.
Yeah,
I think it makes sense. I mean, they spent a long time on that engine for the Breath of the Wild. I mean, this game was supposed to be was going to be a Wii U game back in 2014 on the Wii U.
Yeah. They had that like horse demo. They had that crazy horse demo where you're riding the horse and the horse goes around the tree, and everyone went bananas, and it was like, oh, and that turned into Breath of the Wild, like one of the best games ever.
Would it make sense that they want to use the same engine and maybe get another game out of this engine?
I think so. I mean, the game engine, it's beautiful and it's like it's intense and like the game world is huge. You can do so many things in it. Like I would say, why not? Build on top of what works.
I mean, this is probably a game that's coming out maybe towards the end of the Switch's life cycle. Even though I think that they want to support the Switch for 10 years. So this is definitely not coming out 9 years from now. I think this is a game that's going to come out in the next 3 years, 2 or 3 years.
I would say what it's like 2018 right now. I'd say like 2020 New Zelda.
Oh, definitely. Even before that, I think we can get it in 2019. To be honest,
2019? Ooh, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe that'd be awesome, man.
Late 2019, early 2020. I think
you know what? You're probably right because if it's the same game engine, like a lot of that stuff's already been built. If you want to add new features to the game engine, you can do that, but you don't have to spend a good 4 years building all that stuff out. So
yeah, I definitely think we're getting a new Zelda no later than 2020 on the Switch, guaranteed. It just makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's stick with Nintendo. Let's get into our lead story of the week. Nintendo made a lot of news and a lot of headlines with their online service.
Oh yeah,
okay.
They made some waves.
So we got a little bit of information about their online service. Listen, I know everyone's focusing on what it didn't say, but let's focus on what it did say. Let's focus on the features. So now we sort of already knew the pricing, right? It was $3.99 a month, or for 3 months $7.99, or what I think everyone should get, 12 months, a whole year for $20, right? That just makes sense.
It's like a drop in the hat. It's really not a lot of money to be able to play these games online.
We will get cloud saves.
Mm-hmm.
It will finally introduce cloud saves, which we can save your data on the cloud. Makes sense.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the cloud saves are tied to the online service, yes?
Yes. If you want to have cloud save, you must be a subscriber to the online service.
That hurts a little bit. I get it. They want to add extra value to their gold membership or whatever it is, but that kind of hurts a little bit,
Isn't it the same for Sony and Microsoft? I mean, I'll be honest.
Well, here's the thing. Yes, but you're able to save those games to an external hard drive of sorts. You can't pull your save data off onto an SD card and transfer it. Right?
As of right now, you don't know if that will be. We don't know if that's a feature later on. I mean,
well, if it is,
these are all snippets that.
If that's down the pipeline, then by all means, cloud saves behind a paywall. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Okay, the service is only for the Switch, by the way. So if you have a Wii U, I'm sorry,
doesn't count. If you have a Wii U, if you have a Wii U, we're very sorry.
Using the Switch online will only, again, you need the subscription. And you do get some classic games. You will get 20 classic games with this. They've only announced 10, so that means there's another 10 games that we don't know about yet. But just as I'm not going to go, well, I can go through all 10 games. It's you get soccer, tennis, Donkey Kong, Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers, Balloon Fight, Ice Climbers, Dave's favorite, Dr. Mario.
Hell yeah, baby.
The Legend of Zelda,
King
the original. And also Dave's favorite, Super Mario Brothers 3.
Hell yeah. The best Mario Brothers. Thank you.
The second best Mario Brothers. You're right.
Never going to be able to play it on the on the online service, yet at least. Yeah,
I will be playing it on online service because Mario 3 is a great game. So it's just not the best Mario game. But that's neither here or there for this conversation.
We have 10 games. They're promising 20, right?
Yes. We don't know what the other 10 games will be.
It's a good list. There are some stinkers. Soccer and tennis, not the greatest. They were good for their time. There are better soccer and tennis games on the Switch for sure. I'm sorry, on the Nintendo, I should say.
Also, if you are a subscriber, you will receive special offers that may include discounts on select eShop games.
Mm-hmm. So they're trying to push their digital, buy it online type thing, which is, it's great. It's great. It's good. Those discounts are there.
So far it's just classic NES games. They will add more games going forward. We don't know if that will be on a daily basis, a weekly basis, or monthly basis, but by all accounts, it probably would be monthly, like every other, Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense. Listen, these games on a virtual console on the Wii U are like $4 to $5 a piece. Okay, so if you look at it this way, if you actually bought these games, they would cost you $100 up front to buy these games. 20 games, right? Because the games are usually $5.
Sure.
You're getting these games literally $1, I guess to rent these games for $1 a piece per year, right? Because it's 20. If you buy it $20 a year and it's 20 games, already it's $1 a game.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at it, you can look at it that way. So you're sort of saving money.
Mm-hmm.
Will they cycle out? We don't know. Maybe after 6 months or a year, will they replace Super Mario Brothers 3 with the best Mario game, Super Mario World? I don't know.
It seemed like they were hinting at that, right? They're not gonna build up the service like Netflix was doing to begin with, where they're like, we need to get a ton of titles on here to get everyone into it, and then it becomes it becomes like a structural thing. Like you have to maintain like all of these games, and then you have like all this influx of people coming on to play all these games. Everything's got to be working properly and all that. So I think what it seems to be from what Nintendo has been saying, I'm going to assume that they're going to be like shuffling games in and out over time. Not to mention they were saying something where you got a originally I think it was going to be like a free game per month or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And now they're kind of having 20 games, So it'll probably be a rotating set, And I'm going to assume that you can buy Mario Brothers and have it always, or you can here's the free set of games and you can play it whenever they have it available, right?
I honestly think Nintendo wants you to buy these games.
Of course.
So I think they would cycle them out maybe per year.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe per year where they give you sort of like 20 games.
Mm-hmm.
Per
that would make sense, That would make sense. Like now you can play Earthbound this month or like for this year or whatever it is. But they're like, well, it's eventually going to go out and we'll replace it with Chrono Trigger or Super Mario RPG.
Right? Yeah. Because in Netflix, all those movies don't stay on, right? They have that license for a certain amount of time. And then sometimes every month they cycle out movies that they lost the license to, and they cycle back in more movies that they have the license for, which is why they like that. Which is why they spend billions of dollars on new content a year that they own that will always be there.
Right. They're making the smart move in that case. They're having all their in-house stuff, and it's like, well, we spent the money to put this together. Like, it's not really costing us anything else besides just hosting it. So it's it's smart in that way, I guess.
So what they did not announce is the Nintendo Virtual Console. So they have a sort of a statement from Nintendo where they do not plan to put Nintendo the Virtual Console games out on the Virtual Console, right? Mm-hmm. So it's sort of like they still are putting games out, but just not under the banner of Virtual Console,
right? Which
Virtual Console games were great. Right, they were straight ports of old games, where it was sort of all under the moniker Virtual Console, which I completely love. But everybody's up in arms that this won't exist on the Switch. Calm down. It will exist, just not under that moniker. Which I gotta say is a great like name for it, like a virtual console. I wish they would have kept that.
Yeah, it's a good name. It's a good name. But like Nintendo Online is a little more encompassing.
Yeah.
It kind of goes beyond like retro games, you know? Because that's like really what it was, the virtual console to play like old N64 games and Super Nintendo and Nintendo games and some Neo Geo and Master System and TurboGrafx 16 games, sure. You know, they kind of branched out a little bit. Now it's a little more all-encompassing, so this would also include, you know, games that are in the eShop now, I guess, under this online umbrella, you know?
People just need to relax.
Yeah, listen, exactly.
I like the name virtual console too, okay? It sounds awesome, right? Like virtual, it's the console, but it's virtually. But they're gonna put it under maybe the classic moniker, right? Because they have the classic mini and they have the classic SNES. And
well, sure, and then there's
and
then there's also like
N64. I mean,
right, and Sega has their Sega Ages, which they're branding that, you know. So there's
which they're also bringing to the Switch.
Yeah, they're doing all these little like micro things. So like certain games will be under certain umbrellas, but they're all going to be in the same spot, you know.
$5 a piece. They're still taking your money no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those games that they can, you know, one of those games that they're going to take your money on is Golf Story, a game that they don't have my money, not yet. You know why? Because this is digital only. And you know how I feel about digital only games.
I know. Same here. Like Golf Story seems really awesome. It's a golf RPG. Who knew?
Who knew golf and RPG would go together?
Yeah.
But it looks like the ESRB is rating Golf Story possibly for a physical release on the Switch. Now, I'm going to buy this game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, why else would they get an ESRB rating? You know, that means a box is coming. So, you know, good news.
I'm excited because everyone was raving about this game. I mean,
yeah, man.
You know, I was like, I don't know how an golf RPG could be so good because everyone is going crazy over this game.
Well,
I didn't go on a drunken binge and buy it like I usually do with, you know, a lot of my you know, digital games like Lightfall.
Well, that's exactly what I was trying to do with Celeste. I was like, Celeste is really good. It's getting rave reviews. Everyone's buying it. I'm like, it's going to get a physical. Limited Run is going to do a physical release of this. You know, we asked him at the booth. I was like, when are you guys going to do Celeste? He's like, well, you know, we'll see. We're trying. He
was tight-lipped. They were tight-lipped about that.
They were like very tight-lipped about it. So I was like, you know what? I can't wait. I had a gift card that a friend got me for my birthday, and I'm like, you know what? F it. I'm going in. And I'm glad I bought it because the game is great. And now when it comes out on physical,
Celeste? Wait, I didn't even know that. Wait,
I did. I picked it up. Wow. You know what? I missed it in the pickups last week in the games that we've been playing. But yeah. I've been rocking out to Celeste. There you go.
Oh man, how you like it? I mean, I've been going on the fence about buying it because I know it's gonna be a physical release for Celeste.
Oh, I love it, man. If you can hold out. But the game is fantastic, and ball's hard too.
I was about to say, is it really that hard?
It's pretty tough.
Okay. Yeah, I really want to buy. I really do want to buy it.
It's pretty tough, and then they also have remix levels, so it's the same level, just harder for every single part of the game. Yeah, you get like these B-sides, right? You pick up these tapes, and they call them B-sides, so they're a remix of the level. It's very cute, and those I haven't been able to beat any of the B-sides yet.
Huh. Well, you know what? If Celeste did come out physically, you know, that probably would be the worst kept secret. As far as, you know, if you sort of like secure a date on Walmart.com. Segway. Yes. All right.
I wasn't even gonna bring that up. I was very impressed by it. I was so floored by it. I wasn't gonna bring up the fact that you made an awesome segue.
Well, thank you.
I was just gonna let that ride.
Thank you. Listen, I got to do my fist pump when I do a good segue. I'm sorry.
Throw your hands in the air. Wave them like you just don't care.
You know, sometimes, listen, it's not easy to do segues. I gotta tell you.
No, it's not. It's not. I tip the crown to you.
So Canadian Walmart,
Canadian Walmart in
Canada.
That just sounds funny, Canadian Walmart. But it is Walmart in Canada.
Has sort of accidentally, or maybe on purpose, don't know, because Canadians. I mean, this is not the first time a Canadian Amazon leaked some games coming out, right? So this could be a Canadian thing. They accidentally leaked a bunch of games. We don't know if these are real or fake, but let's go through them. Tom Clancy's The Division 2. That we already know.
We knew that was coming. Announced. Yeah, that was announced pretty recently, actually. So
yeah, so that's not that wasn't juicy. I mean, are we gonna get a new Splinter Cell game? I said we were, but it wasn't officially announced. But I mean, come on.
I don't see why.
He's in Ghost Recon, right? He's not going to just come back for a cameo. There has to be another Splinter Cell game.
Exactly. So that's not necessarily too far off.
They also announced the Last of Us Part 2. Don't think that's coming out this year. But listen, there's a lot of games you could pre-order now that's not going to come out this year.
Right. Right. Much
so
like
I'm not surprised about that.
Much like Final Fantasy VII, they have that on the list here too, and who knows when that game is coming out?
God knows, who knows? But this game, I honestly was shocked when I know people are saying yeah, but I was kind of shocked. Just Cause 4.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. The games always do well.
Really,
the games always do well. Yeah, I mean they sell well. They're basically like Saints Row down in like the jungle or whatever, down in the down in like the Amazon or whatever. It just feels like a big like open world sandbox. You can kind of do whatever you want, and people just eat it up.
I don't know, man. Like I tried it, man. I got Just Cause 3, and I put a good effort into that. I just don't know. I'm not. I just don't see it working.
Yeah.
I don't even know how well Just Cause 3 sold. It must have sold well enough for them to make a fourth one.
I mean, if this leak is to be true, then yeah.
Dragon Quest 2, which Dragon Quest Builders,
most likely Builders. Yeah,
it's already Dragon Quest 2. So Dragon Quest Builders 2. I like Dragon Quest. I played the heck out of the demo for the Switch. I have Dragon Quest for PS4.
Yeah,
definitely great. Minecraft type of a game that I really liked. Actually, you know what? That reminds me. I gotta put Dragon Quest back for Dragon Quest 1 on my PS4. I gotta put that back in my playlist. I gotta go back to that game. I really like that game. I played the heck out of the demo on the Switch.
Right.
You know what? I'm going back to Toys R Us at some point next week. So if they still have Dragon Quest and I can get 40% off, I think I'll pick it up for the Switch. They have Metroid Prime 4 on the list. A game I still don't think it's going to come out this year. I think it's a 2019 game.
We shall see in less than a month. E3 is right around the corner. They will definitely be announcing something about that.
They got Borderlands 3. They have Borderlands 3. Again, worst kept secret. We already know they're working on the Borderlands 3, but it's not officially announced.
They haven't physically announced anything. That's probably out of the bag now.
Lego DC Villains. Now, I'm sure they came up with the idea to do this game while they were doing Suicide Squad, and they're like, this is going to be great because Suicide Squad is going to be a hit. It was a flop, but they already worked on the game, so they got to put it out.
Yep.
Maybe the game would be better than the movie.
Oh, I don't think that's very difficult to do.
Sorry. Beyond Good and Evil 2.
We knew about that.
Definitely not coming out this year.
It's going to be a 2019. It's going to be a spring 2019 at best. Yeah.
Listen, Beyond Good and Evil 2 is going to release the same year as Death Stranding. Okay, I guarantee you. Matter of fact, I think Beyond Good and Evil 2 will come out 6 months before Death Stranding.
All right. Well, we're gonna hear about Death Stranding at E3.
We are. That is true.
Definitely coming.
A game that surprised the heck out of everybody. Rage 2. Now, Bethesda sort of has. They haven't denied it, but they've sort of had fun with it.
Oh, they did the best thing possible. I think they basically took their post and took like a pink marker and circled all the things wrong with the ad. They're like, oh, there's no ESRB logo. The key art's incorrect. They just
Rage is not in cap and not all caps.
Yeah. It's really funny. Like kudos to Bethesda for taking that in stride, right? Because there's no other way to really handle it, right? You can say like, oh, no, this isn't true. We're going to deny it and this and that, but nobody's going to believe that. Like, Walmart's definitely not going to pull Rage 2 out of their butt, you know? Like I think on this they know something, and they made a big mistake.
Also, we have Forza Horizon 5, which was surprising because we didn't even get Forza Horizon 4 yet, so they just skipped over 4.
Right.
Well, that's not uncommon for Microsoft to skip a number, right? Because they just skipped over 9, and we got Windows 10,
Windows 8 to Windows
X,
10. Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's very weird.
So that would be funny if we just skipped over Forza Horizon 4 and just went straight to 5. That would be funny.
Right. We're doing you one better, guys.
We're doing you one better. Don't worry. You wouldn't like 4. You'll love 5.
No. 5 is better. Trust me. 5 is
speaking of 5s, Gears of War 5 is on here.
Right.
I got to say, spoilers, when we do our E3 predictions, that was one of my predictions that Gears of War 5 would be announced and released this year. I got to say, I don't know if I can officially keep this as a prediction because this is sort of a minor leak, right? We got to talk about that.
Well, I mean, you had this. I mean, you know, we'll definitely go over the predictions and whatever beforehand too. But I think it's safe to say that we've been working on these predictions for a little bit. So any news that kind of comes out between, I guess, now and E3. It's all been premeditated by us. We've all thought about it, put it down. You know, if anything comes out, we're basically just being vindicated in that case. So we will let you know if anything else happens like that. You know, I will definitely give this one to you if they announce this at E3. Sure, I will give this one to you.
Well, one thing missing from the list is that new Pokemon game for the Switch, right?
Oh, there's honestly not a lot of Switch games on here besides Smash and Metroid, which are games that have already been announced.
Yeah. But no, where's the Pokemon game, right? We knew we were going to get, I mean, there were talks of a Pokemon on the Switch. Where's the Pokemon game? Right? So sticking with Pokemon, a Pokemon game you can play on your phone, Pokemon Go. We're going to do Pokemon Go Fest in Chicago over again. Because remember the last time they did Pokemon Go Fest in Chicago? It was a disaster.
I do. It was the worst thing. They got a lawsuit brought against them on this, which we
thought was frivolous. It was totally frivolous. Like it was ridiculous. Like I know you paid a lot of money to fly out there and stuff, room and board, but it is not their fault.
Wait a minute. I just want to say one more piece about the whole Walmart leak and whatnot, right? Because like, you know, it's obviously a big F up, right? The problem here is that E3 is in a month, and you basically, if all of this is true, you've basically effed over a lot of the presentations, right? Because that's like their bread and butter is, hey guys, check this out. You're gonna go nuts, right? So, you know, their sales have been deflated a little bit because of this, you know, and that just sucks. You know, Walmart can't do anything but pull the ad down, which they did immediately. But, you know, the damage is done if it's true. So I just wanted to say that on it.
Well, okay. Well, you know what? Jason Schreier from Kotaku disagrees with you because he says video games is the only industry where everything's a secret. And he likes breaking stories because he's like, why is it secret? And I would love to tell Jason, it's secret because we are not the movie industry, okay? Stop comparing. Video game industry, there is something to say about the element of surprise.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want to be surprised if they're making a new Avengers game. I mean, a new Avengers movie, but I want to be surprised if they're making a new Avengers game.
Right. And, you know, like sometimes, you know, they're not ready to announce it yet. You know, they want to wait until a specific time. You know, like again, like don't put your game out around Red Dead. It's just not going to do well, right? So it's same with announcements too. You want to get the hype train going at the right time, you know, and the devs have the right, or the publishers have the right to say, look, we're going to do it at this time. We're going to have a presentation. We're going to do it during this expo or this convention or whatever it is, you know. And like, sucks that
a lot of times the game doesn't even get made. Like it doesn't come out. A lot of games get canceled.
That's true. That's true in the case of Scalebound, you know. Scalebound got canceled.
Yeah, and the reason why we even know about games so far in advance is because they're afraid of leaks, right? So why is like, hey, we don't want this to leak, so why don't we put out something? We're announcing this E3 instead of next E3 when we're ready, sort of like to have a release date.
Right.
So, you know, I am so for everybody keeping it close to the vest and announcing it when they're ready to announce it, when the game's ready to come out soon.
Yeah, seriously.
But let's get back to Pokemon Go. So they're going to have a Pokemon Go Fest in Chicago over again, sort of like a do-over, right? It'll be July 14th and 15th. Since that fiasco in Chicago, every other Pokemon Go Fest has been better, right? They've had sort of like mobile cell towers for all the major carriers, right? They've had it in Japan, they've had it in Texas.
Right.
And by all accounts, they're going to do the same to make this Pokemon Go Fest in Chicago do over better.
Well, they have to. They have to do everything right. If they do one thing wrong here, people are going to crucify them again. They're going to go, wait a minute. Did you not learn from the last time? Did you not prepare for this? And they're going to go, no. So, yeah. And I know, I think we talked about the Japan one or whatever, like, they made it like super easy to get like Mew or Mewtwo or whatever. They're like, here, just have this, because they messed up the last time, and they're like, all right, we got to make it up to the fans. You know,
I mean, they had a record-setting event in Japan, Korea, and other cities across Europe, and they expect the same thing in Chicago. Tickets go on sale May 11th. I think tickets only cost $20, and it will be in sort of Lincoln Park in Chicago, right? Well, Chicago. It was in Chicago's Grant Park last year, but now it's going to be in Chicago's Lincoln Park this year. So it's like 2 miles long, and you could discover rare Pokemon and stuff. I'm not really. I haven't. I caught my Squirtle in my sink, and that was it. But
you spent a legit 2 minutes in the game. I'm so upset with you. I'm sorry. You threw me on the bus and said, you should play this game and let us know how it is. And I said, we should play this game. I played it for a legit week, and it was trash. And you played it for 2 seconds, and you're like, nah, I don't like this game.
I caught Squirtle. He was in my sink. I caught him.
Yeah, congratulations. You did the tutorial. You barely did the tutorial.
Thank you. I got to say, I see people in New York City playing Pokemon Go. Like, hey, I'm trying to cross the street, and I'm like, why are these people like walking so slow? And I'm thinking they're taxing people. They're trying to catch a Pokemon. I'm like, move out of the way.
It's good that it's going well. Congrats to Nintendo and the Pokemon Company for making a game that's still being played today, which is a good testament. I am done with that game. Obviously, we are done with that game, but hopefully the Chicago Fire of last year will not happen again.
Yeah. Well, a game that sort of Capcom wishes that people will continue to play, just like they play Pokemon Go, will be 2 unannounced games that they're planning, major games that they're planning to launch before March 2019.
Yeah, people have been kind of speculating on what this is going to be. Big signs point to Devil May Cry and Mega Man 11.
I think Mega Man 11 is one of those 2 games. I mean, that's like the no-brainer, right?
We know they're working on Mega Man 11. So I would say that's a safe bet. And DMC is about time for a sequel or reboot or whatever they want to do with it. But I think 2013 was the last Devil May Cry game, so that makes sense. I couldn't see them doing like Street Fighter or Resident Evil again. Like, it's just too soon, And those games are still doing fairly well,
What about Monster Hunter? I mean, they announced that Monster Hunter Generations that was out for the Switch in Japan is now coming to North America. Could this be one of those 2 games? Do you think this counts? You think people would be interested in North America playing a Monster Hunter game, Monster Hunter Generations?
Are you kidding me?
Is, I think, is sort of like, it's not a mainline Monster Hunter game. I think it was the 3DS
people
port.
Love Monster Hunter. I know that. There's one thing I know: people love Monster Hunter. And any game that doesn't get released over here, that kind of gets released in Japan or like overseas, people get real salty about. Yeah, I know that, because people just love these games. It's a very well established franchise, and people just want more of it. And I definitely don't blame them.
Well, Monster Hunter Worlds is like their highest selling game of all time,
right? Why would you not? Why would you not want that here?
And I think they definitely need to come out with a game on the Switch.
Yeah, definitely.
A new mainline game, and I mean,
definitely.
Do you think one of the reasons why we're not even getting Monster Hunter Worlds on the Switch is because that Switch can't run Monster Hunter World?
I mean,
could be. I mean, remember, Generations, I think, is a port from the 3DS, if I'm not mistaken, but it's definitely not a mainline.
You can always make the game work. You can always make the game work. Whether you have
what
to
are you
rework
sacrificing?
Well, you sacrifice the graphics, of course. That's like the big thing. Yeah, and maybe you have to cut some features out because of disk space or whatever. But you can make the game work. The Switch isn't that underpowered. I think it's enough that it would kind of be able to get through. Yeah.
I mean, the Switch is just as powerful as a PS3 or Xbox 360, right? And they could get Worlds to play on Xbox 360.
Sure.
Graphically, it wouldn't be the same.
No. I mean, that's like the first thing that gets hit for sure.
Yeah. So, all right, let's talk about Valve. So Valve,
good old Valve.
Steam machines seem to be going away. That didn't work out so well as they had planned.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually had a Steam Link box.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it was like just as big as like a regular Apple TV or just a hard drive. To be honest with you, like an external, like one of those mini hard drives, where you could sort of play. You can stream your Steam library from your computer to your TV.
Right. Then you'd use like a Steam controller, some sort of Bluetooth thing to play your games on.
Use a Steam controller. Don't think that sold very well, but now they're making it to where it's an app to where you can sort of stream your Steam library on your iOS, Android devices.
It needs to be on a 5G network. That's very important. And obviously your PC needs to be on, so you need to be like on the same Wi-Fi network. This isn't like on the go type situations, but it is, throughout your home, which is nice. They did also state that there's no touchscreen support, so you need a controller.
You need a Steam.
Yeah, you need like a Steam controller, or I think possibly some sort of Bluetooth game controller would also work. So it's cool. Hopefully they have like mouse and keyboard support too, so you can play on the big screen in the living room. I think really that's the draw, So like you cast it from your device to your TV, and then you use your controller, possibly mouse and keyboard, and then you're good to go. Like that's that seems kind of cool. I could see myself doing that for sure.
Okay. You know what? That actually does seem cool. That's something I would do if I had a Steam account. Or play PC games at all.
Sure.
One day I will. Mike, my friend Mike actually told me he's building a new computer right now as we speak.
Right? Me and Mike will help you, man. I mean, it's brain dead simple to do. It's really not that hard. You buy some components off the wall, off the shelf, put them in a damn case, you're good to go. It's easy peasy.
One day I will. All right, let's stick with Valve. I always love to end the top 10 gaming stories of last week with something light, something cool, something funny, or something silly. I think this is pretty cool. Half-Life 3 could be potentially it could be a reality due to the fans. It seems like a fan project that everyone's going to take what Half-Life 3 should have been or what could have been, because remember the story of what Half-Life 3 would have been leaked. And they're going to make this into a real life game. Right.
So this is done by some like modders and whatnot. They are very much using assets from Half-Life with a new fresh coat of paint and whatnot. I am curious to see how far they will get because Valve is going to bring the hammer down and file a lawsuit against them, and obviously they're going to cease and desist.
You think so? You think they would?
Yeah, everybody does. The only company I know that's cool enough to be like, yeah, it's okay, is Sega. Because somebody is I believe they're still making a 3D Sonic game based off the original 2D Sonic games. And Sega even had it on their Twitter, I think. They linked to it or whatever about it. I mean, it was great. And Sega's it's cool. No,
343 sort of worked with guys who were doing like a Halo thing. And they put parameters like, well, you can't do this, and you can't do this, but you could do whatever else you want other than these list of things, and they did it, and they didn't.
Okay, sure.
Do
So
a cease and
throw
desist.
them up on the board too. 343. Big thumbs up.
And honestly, the only reason why I think they did that is because E3 predictions early, baby. We will hear nothing about Halo 6.
All right. Well, you're bringing all the leaks out now, man. You're bringing all the leaks out.
Now. You know what? I'm leaking. I'm like Walmart. I'm like a Canadian Walmart right now. I'm just leaking stuff all over the place. I'm just leaking stuff. Okay. I'm just putting it out there. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Look,
right?
I mean, 9 times out of 10, 90% of the time, companies are like, "This is our IP. We want to protect our IP, and we're not gonna let you do this." And that sucks. I really hope Valve doesn't do that, but I feel like they're going to.
Well, Nintendo put a cease and desist on that Metroid sort of like remake.
AM2R, yeah. AM2R.
Because they had a Samus Returns game coming out.
It was great. Yeah, exactly. So I understand why they did that. Squaresoft put the kibosh on a 3D Chrono Trigger remake, which, was awesome. But they had to cease and desist on that. I mean, there's just a ton of different things that have been out there. And it's all so sad because they put all this love and work into it. They want to put these games out. They never try and sell them. They're just like, look, we love this game so much, we want to redo it with new assets. And never.
And
works.
you never know, they may get a job in an industry because that may be the fastest way they could get a job and get noticed, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Seriously.
All right. Let's put a fork in it. News is done. Let's get into the convo of the week. All right. Donkey Kong. I've been playing Tropical Freeze, which is a hard game. Even with Funky Kong.
You were saying you were in Funky Kong's easy mode, man. You said you were having problems with Funky Kong's easy mode.
It ain't easy. Let me tell
you know what? You know what? I'm gonna come by. We're gonna do some 2-player, and we will go ahead and make some progress in that game.
Well,
I will help you.
You cannot do 2-player with Funky Kong.
Oh,
so
interesting. Right. Okay.
You can play in Funky Kong mode with Funky Kong or Donkey Kong, and I think you just get extra hearts with Donkey Kong. But we can play 2-player mode, right? And we play, and I'll just pick Donkey Kong, and then you could be whoever, whatever Kong, Diddy Kong. We can play 2-player mode. It's still a hard as balls game. I gotta tell you, this game is like, there's one boss battle underwater. I'm like, why is he that hard? Why do you need to hit him 10 times? I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense. It should be 4.
The standard, right? 1, 2, 3. I mean, even
maybe
4 could be a little excessive.
Even 5. You have to hit him literally 8 to 9 times. 8 to 9 times. Are you kidding me?
Okay, I understand. You're not good at video games. It's okay.
Oh, shut up. Okay, you know what? Shut up. I didn't even make it to him when I played the game. When I played the game without Funky Kong and the Wii U.
Oh, jeez.
That game is so hard. But I do love Donkey Kong.
It's great. Donkey Kong is a great series. He's a great character.
So Polygon listed their top 25 top 23 Donkey Kong games of all time. And I think in that spirit, we would list our top 3 Donkey Kong games each. All right. But let's just go over their top 23. Number 23, there is Donkey Kong Jr. Math, which is, if you haven't played this game, try to find it online because this game is expensive.
Is it?
Yeah, this game is hard to find.
That's
cheap.
Interesting.
I mean, this is a game you probably wouldn't play.
No, it's a math tutor game.
It is a math tutor game, and this game is expensive. This game, I mean, no joke. This game is like super expensive. Not worth the money type of expensive because I'm sure it didn't sell.
Right. Oh, of course not. Like, no one's really gonna, especially in Nintendo. Like, edutainment games that was not a thing at the time. Like, people just wanted to shoot stuff and bop little Goombas and whatnot. They wanted some simple stuff.
Well, listen, if you do want to buy it, it is $107 on Luki right now.
Woo! And I'm assuming that's loose.
Yes. Yeah. Well, of course. Listen,
yeah,
if you want to buy it, I'm sure it'd be like $400.
Good.
I'm sure it'd be like $400 if we would buy it. If we want to buy it not loose. But number 18, Donkey Kong 64.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Is that the game? Don't you need like not a rumble pack, but you needed the extra memory
expansion
for that game?
You actually you needed the expansion pack because they had a bug in the game. So what they did was they just packed in the expansion pack and took the hit because there was no other way to play that game without it.
Nice.
Yeah. And Donkey Kong 64, I believe, holds the record for the most collectibles in a video game. So there you go.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Really? I didn't know that. I didn't know
Dude,
that.
it's a Rare game, man. Rare was all about collectibles.
Speaking of Rare, Donkey Kong Country is number 10 on their list.
Oh, that's a classic. That's a classic. I remember getting this game Christmas 94. It was a good Christmas. I got a brand new PC. I got Donkey Kong Country. I got Mortal Kombat 2. Oh, yeah, it was a good year.
Wow, you remember that? I don't remember that. You had some good parents, man, I tell you. Number 7, I guess Diddy Kong, they're counting in the Donkey Kong world. Like as far as like I thought we were going mainline Donkey Kong games on this list. And I guess they're counting Diddy Kong. They're sort of counting Diddy Kong in this. So Diddy Kong Racing is number 7 for the N64. It came out in 97. Good game. I like that game. I have it myself. I played it when it came out because a friend of mine had it. But I was a Mario Kart guy, so
that was
I was this is okay. Mario Kart 64, man.
Oh well, yeah. That was also the first appearance of Conker, was in Diddy Kong Racing.
That is true. That is true. Number 5 is Donkey Kong Country's Returns for the Wii, 2010. Number 4, the original Donkey Kong, 1981. Number 2, I'm gonna skip 3. Number 2, Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. That was for the GameCube. That was that. I didn't think it would be that high. I've seen this game. I've seen gameplay of this game. I haven't played the game. I do own the game, but didn't think Jungle Beat would be this high on anybody's list of Donkey Kong games. And number 1, Donkey Kong for the Game Boy.
Donkey Kong 94. Yep. Great game. It was basically the old school Donkey Kong game expanded out like tenfold. All these different levels, all these new mechanics in the game. I love this game. I got it when it came out for the Game Boy. I played the crap out of it. I beat this game.
Wow.
It was fantastic, and they had great support for the Super Game Boy too. They had like custom background skins and whatnot, extra colors, like legit.
Wow.
Like it was on point. Yeah.
All right, so let's get into our list. The list that's important is our list. Okay, we're gonna get into our top 3 Donkey Kong games. Okay, I'll go first. So number 3, we're gonna go in chronological. We're gonna go in order. 3, 2, 1. Number 3, the original Donkey Kong for the NES. The original Donkey Kong for the NES.
Classic.
I remember playing this as a kid. I remember I even had Donkey Kong Jr. too, and I played the heck out of this game. I thought this game was super hard as you get towards the end, like the later levels. I had never beat this game, but I did watch my father's friend beat the game in front of me, and listen, this was Twitch before it started, right? I was cheering him on. I was like, "Oh my god, you beat Donkey Kong!" Like this was like a big thing for me. But he was like, he loved Donkey Kong. He was playing Donkey Kong in the arcades. So he's like, for the NES, this is nothing. I got this. But I don't know. I must have been like 6, right? So
yeah, I think so. I think it was 86, 87. Sure. Maybe 85.
Donkey Kong on the NES was like a big thing to me. Number 2, Donkey Kong Country, the original for the SNES.
Oh, classic. It was the first game that Rare made. Yeah, first game that Rare made for Nintendo, at least.
Yes. Well, first game I think they had I think they had an NES game that came out.
They had like Battletoads, and Battletoads was a Rare and Trade West. Actually, no, I'm sorry. No, you are 100% correct. RC Pro-Am was made by Rare.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, but this is the first game that really got them noticed. Like this was like the name. Yeah. This was like the first real.
This really put them on the map.
That got a level of success, right? I never owned this game. I own it now, but I never owned this game growing up. We rented it from Electronic Boutique. Yes, that was a thing back in the day, back in the late 80s, early 90s. The game was so like, and to me, the game was hard, but the graphics were amazing. I was like, wow, this is video games? It can't get any better than this.
It was insane.
This is amazing.
Like it looked as good as games on like the PlayStation that just came out. like the Saturn, the 3DO, like it was amazing. And like they had the advertisements were like this isn't on CD, this isn't 64-bit, this isn't 32-bit, this is on the 16-bit Super Nintendo. Like it was insane. No one ever saw anything like it. It was crazy.
Listen, they had me when I can ride a rhino and a swordfish. I was like, I'm a gorilla in the water riding a swordfish. This is
Ungard
awesome.
and Rambi. Yeah.
This is awesome. I was like, I never actually, full disclosure, I never played Donkey Kong Country 2 or 3. I'm sure, by all accounts, everyone loves 2, right? Everyone thinks 2 is a better game, which I'm sure it is. But I have nostalgia goggles for the original Donkey Kong Country game.
Yeah, man.
I love that game.
It was monumental.
And I was mad that I never got the chance to own that game. I really wanted them to buy that game for me.
You do now. Do not be mad anymore.
I don't need to be mad. I own every Donkey Kong game, except for the original. I still need Donkey Kong for the NES. And my number 1, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze for the Switch. Yes, this game is hard, but this game is beautiful. This game, I can't tell you how beautiful this game is. This game looks amazing. It's hard, but it's hard. It's that old school Nintendo hard where it's like, oh my god, one more hit. Oh, and you screw up. It's like it's your fault. Like you're never mad at the game, even though I am mad that that one boss took like 9 hits, which doesn't make any sense. But I died so many times needing to hit that boss one last time, and I made a mistake. Right. So when I finally beat him, which I did today before we started recording, I was like, I did a backflip. I was like, oh my god, I'm stopped playing. Like I need to stop playing for a while. Like I'll pick it up tomorrow. I can't play anymore today because I beat this damn boss. Okay, this game, amazing. Love this game for the Switch with Funky Kong. Okay, the Switch, not the original Wii U version. It barely can get past the third level, but for the Switch, this is my favorite Donkey Kong game of all time.
All right, not bad. I appreciate the list. I appreciate the list. So I'm just gonna get right into it. My number 3, and you said it, Donkey Kong Country 2. Donkey Kong Country 2 over Donkey Kong Country 1. It is the better game. They added some new mechanics, some new animals to ride on, a lot more varied environments, graphics slightly better and all that. Music still on point, everything about it is, I think it's just a little bit better than Donkey Kong Country 1, which is still a fantastic game. And I still love that game. I do have a fondness in my heart for that game. But I gotta go Donkey Kong Country 2. Number 2 on my list, which I was very happy to see that the Polygon list had Donkey Kong 94 at number 1, because that was my number 2. Wow. And that has a little bit of nostalgia, but I have been playing it recently because I just picked up a copy from one of our Instagram friends. They were nice enough to sell me the game at a decent price, so I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna rock this game, and it still holds up, man. It still holds up. The controls are on point. The game is big. It's definitely gonna take you a little while to get through it. The graphics are great. And my number 1, you gotta go with the OG, the Donkey Kong Arcade Edition. I'm talking stand up, coin op with the little ball joystick. Gotta go old school, man.
Wow, my number 1. I mean, did you play this in an arcade?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I played it from time to time, for sure. I remember dumping some quarters in there. There were 3 versions that I played as a kid. I played the Atari version, which was not that great. I played the Commodore 64 version, which was very good because it had all 4 stages. And I played the arcade game very, very poorly. So I remember playing those 3. But love the OG arcade version.
Man, I forgot it was on the Atari.
Yeah, man.
No, that's crazy.
I
think about it now. Wasn't it a ColecoVision too?
I think it was also on the ColecoVision. Yeah.
Wow.
I definitely don't have that cart anymore, but yeah.
No, listen. I would love to know what everybody else's favorite Donkey Kong game of all time is. I definitely think Tropical Freeze best Donkey Kong game to date. You think the OG, the arcade? If you let us know, leave a comment. On YouTube, finally on YouTube again, right?
Yeah.
Or Instagram or Facebook, anywhere.
Or Twitter.
Let us know what your favorite Donkey Kong game is.
Yeah. Let us know. We would definitely love to hear that. And we are at Rated G for Gamers at all of those places that we just mentioned. We are also at info@ratedg4gamers. If you want to email us, please feel free to do that. We love hearing from you guys. So please like, listen, subscribe, and as always,
keep gaming.